May I come in, sir?
Yes, please do.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Thank you.
It's Rina.
Yes, sir.
Rina, you're comfortable with English as your preferred medium?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, Rina, I just want to draw your attention to the fact that you are sitting at around 12-13 feet from anybody in this room, right? Idea is that you should feel safe, right? And also, if you wish, you can very safely remove your mask if you believe that will be better for good communication.
Okay. I want to remove it.
Please. Comfortable?
Yes.
Can we start?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then Rina, please introduce yourself to board members.
My name is Rina Pradhan. I am from Jharsuguda, Odisha. I have done my MBBS from Veer Surendra Sai Medical College and Hospital, and currently I am working as a medical officer under Government of Odisha in one of the KBK area of the state. And so my hobbies include Sambalpuri folk dance and Madhubani painting.
So Rina, you were trained to be a doctor and you are already a medical officer. So why are you not happy with your current work profile? I mean, you were trained to be a doctor and you're getting to work in the field of medicine. Why do you want to become a babu instead of a doctor?
Sir, it is not like that I am unhappy. I'm really very happy and feel very privileged to be a part of medical fraternity. But still, I want to join civil service because I don't want to confine myself to the health sector, because I have aptitude for working in a diverse area and concerning every aspect of human development, and civil service gives me an opportunity to do that, and that's the reason I want to.
I would have accepted if it was only a few services you should have been aspiring. The fact is that you are willing to become a Group B officer in Delhi or Pondicherry, not just IAS or IPS. So it means that you are actually running from your current service rather than running to any service. Why Pondicherry Police Service and not a medical officer in Odisha?
It's not like that, sir. My preference is IAS, and probably if I landed up in like service like Pondicherry service, that is not my interest area. So probably I will appear again for the exam.
So you just filled it because you knew that you have counting up to 21. So you thought that I must fill till 21. Is that the case?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, Dr. Rina, you are a medical professional. What do you understand by gig economy? And do you believe that gig economy in the field of medical profession is a good idea?
So gig economy, basically the unorganized sector economy that is not properly bound by the organized sectors law that are currently in India. And in medical field, I believe that yes, it could be a good
gig economy is defined only by the fact that it is unorganized, or there are some other characteristics of this economy?
Yes, sir, there are a few characteristics, but right now I cannot recall.
I asked it because recently we saw in COVID and even otherwise, when the apps like Practo and other apps came, doctors become more of a gig worker. Like as we see the Zomato delivery boys, these medical professionals were more or less the workers like other gig workers. Do you believe that it is good for the health sector in general? And occupationally, is it good for the doctors?
Yes, sir. Obviously, it is good for the health sector because we have a lot of shortage of infrastructure and a lot of shortage of doctors. So, through this gig economy and using this telemedicine kind of facility, we can reach to the last mile, and so it is a good idea. However, there should be a proper regulation some kind, because health is a very sensitive issue, so we cannot just leave this. It needs to be regulated for the.
What are the risks involved in it? If a doctor is sitting somewhere else and managing 500 patients a day on the basis of these apps, giving the already printed prescriptions in a wholesale manner, is there a risk involved or not?
So risk lies because we don't have proper internet connectivity throughout India, and that's the major concern. And so and maybe the doctor who are actually dealing with the case, they don't have the proper degree. There may be a chance of fake degree and fake professional treating a patient. So there is a risk involved in that.
Rina, in the COVID times, you were in service, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us, how was it like at the grassroots level? And do you believe that the medical fraternity and public in general has fared well in the pandemic times, or it's been real bad?
Sir, in general, the second wave of COVID was very dangerous one. But I actually work in a rural area. From my experience, I can say that rural area that is mostly less affected because of there is less crowding of the population. And but however, we have given our level of infrastructure and public health facility. We have managed it well, barring few problem like shortage of oxygens and medication. Otherwise, we have dealt with well.
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, Dr. Rina, you are a practicing doctor with Odisha government, right? Can you please tell me, often we come across disturbing visuals of doctors and paramedical staff being targeted, by family members of the patients on the allegation that they have not been treated well, and in many circumstances, like if death has occurred, they allege that it was because of the lackadaisical approach of the doctors, and they target the doctor and the property therein. Can you please tell me what legal mechanisms are in place to protect the doctors who are working on? Do you have any protection? Do you enjoy such protection?
Sir, I don't remember exact name, but during this pandemic, there is a law to protect.
So you are not sure about that?
Yes.
Leave it, no issues. Tell me, you must be dealing with essential drugs, right? Can you please tell me how the price of essential drugs in India are determined? Which is the apex agency to decide? Take a call on this.
So, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority that actually regulate all these things, and we have a DPCO, Drug Price Control Order, and basing upon that, the price of the essential drugs are regulated in India.
Fine. Then what is the mechanism? How it is determined? What are the key criteria that is factored in when the price determination takes place, or when review of the price takes place? You're not sure about this. Okay. Tell me, you know something about Dulari Devi, Karpuri Devi, Mahalakshmi Devi, which field these famous ladies are associated with? They are the signature personalities of Mithila art that you are interested in. Now tell me, how come, from Sambhalpur folk dance to Mithila painting, Madhubani painting, how did this interest come to you? You are not from Bihar then?
Sir, while I started preparing for the civil service, I read about this Mithila painting, and after that I began to develop interest towards this Madhubani painting.
So I can presume that you have read various dimensions of this Madhubani painting, right?
Yes, I know.
So let me ask you how this black paint is made, which is used for Mithila painting. It has a unique feature. The color that we use in Mithila painting has a unique feature actually. They are organic colors. Can you please tell me how this black color is made?
This black color is derived from charcoal.
Fine. Then it is mixed with the cow dung. That is the speciality of the black color. Anyways, let's move to some other issues. Recently this Ujjwala 2.0 was unveiled by Honorable Prime Minister of our country, right? Can you please tell me how it is different from its predecessor, that is Ujjwala? Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, it was there?
Sir, in the earlier scheme, the coverage was less. Here the coverage was increased to...
This is what I am asking. Who all are the intended beneficiary of this scheme?
Here the SCs, STs, the population, destitute women, this...
Are you making a guess, or you are sure about the blueprint of this particular scheme?
Not sure.
You are not sure about this. So I'm just coming to my last question, and it is related to current affairs. Recently Supreme Court of India has directed CCI, that is Competition Commission of India, to go ahead with its antitrust investigation into the matter pertaining to Amazon and Flipkart. Can you trace the background of this particular investigation and controversy? I am not sure about this. Anyways, thank you, sir, please.
Rina, you come from Odisha, right? You are a doctor and your optional is anthropology, right? Why you have given IFS as your fifth preference?
Sir, it is. I believe that having my economic or social background, I am more connected to grassroots work, and that's how I want to give choice AIS IPS, where more of the public dealing directly. Otherwise, I don't have any kind of biasness against any service.
While talking to our chairperson, sir, you just said that you have some kind of aptitude to become an IAS officer. Can you tell me something more about it? What kind of attitude or aptitude you have which will required for the civil services?
I believe that I have a lot of courage, and I feel very comfortable talking to different kind of people. And I have in college also, I have leadership role in our students union. I can manage things well, and I have a compassion, and mostly importantly, I have very compassionate attitude for the downtrodden society. That's how I believe that I can be a good administrator.
Okay, fine. Is there any difference between attitude and aptitude?
Sir, yes, aptitude is something that is inherent. But attitude is something that we learn over time, and so aptitude is innate one, and
attitude is related to
one.
Likes and dislikes of an individual or something else.
Sir, initially it is actually like dislike, but it's reinforcement, continuous reinforcement, and leads to a development of certain kind of biasness towards a thing, whether we like it or not. That actually gradually develop over time, basing upon our socialization process.
Okay, fine. Rina, look, we have the right to refuse doctors when we are not satisfied with the treatment. Likewise, doctors should have the right to refuse patient as well. What do you think?
Sir, I believe that we are bound by Hippocratic oath, and I don't think so. Okay, doctor should refuse the patient. Doctor should treat the patient with utmost sincerity and with using all their expertise.
I'm talking about some restive patient or mentally disordered patient.
No, sir, mentally
disordered violent patient.
Mentally disordered patient requires more attention.
More attention. Okay.
They need to deal with
Very
sensitive.
Good. Which article of the Constitution deals with the maintenance of the health system in India and to raise the level of nutrition in India? If you recollect or remember.
Sir, can I guess?
Yeah, please go ahead.
It is Article 47.
Very good, very good. It is 47. Can you suggest some measures for the improvement in the health system in India? So do you have some blueprint?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, please.
Firstly, we need to increase the manpower. We need to produce more doctors because we have less number of doctors. Secondly, we should rope private sector more for the infrastructure development in tier 2 and tier 3 city as well. Thirdly, we should leverage the information technology like telemedicine for the improvement of the health sector. Then the fourth being, we have whatever maybe we can do, but still we have shortage, so we can use the concept of like ASA, Anganwadi. They should be actually used properly to improve the health sector.
Okay. And any other measures for the raise the level of nutrition, especially in the rural area?
Sir, we have beautiful schemes like ICDS, and that has very good provision, but actually that implementation problem is there. So if we implement the policy of ICDS, then it would be more good, because we are having good policies but not implementing properly. And we have Poshan Abhijan, we have already lot of things, so we should concentrate on that to increase the nutrition.
Implementation part is required.
Implementation part is lacking.
Okay, fine. Rina, Do you believe that there should be ombudsman kind of institution is required for medical administration, especially for the grievance redressal of the customer?
Yes, sir. Whenever there is an institution that needs to be regulated, we have Clinical Establishment Act also, but again there is a lack of implementations of the things, and there is also a provision in the grievance redressal provision in that act also to regulate, but we are not actually implementing the things properly. So rather than creating a new institution, we should focus whatever we have.
Okay, very good. Is there any code of conduct for doctors?
Sir, code of conduct, basically that if what we have, we stick to that. I don't know any other thing.
Can you point out some kind of thing, what you have taken oath or affirmation as a doctor?
Sir, at verbatim, I don't remember.
Okay, no issue. My last question, what is euthanasia?
Sir, euthanasia is voluntary actually killing of patient who are terminally ill. They don't have chance for their survival. It is actually euthanasia. It is both active and passive euthanasia. In active euthanasia, we deliberately give something to kill the patient, but in passive euthanasia, we just withdraw something, some support system to kill the patient. That is euthanasia.
What kind of euthanasia we have in practice in India, or is there any Supreme Court ruling regarding this?
Sir, active euthanasia is we are not practicing at all. The Supreme Court has given some directives about the passive euthanasia. Like a person can make informed directive regarding the way he or she want to be treated.
What is living will?
That is living will.
The Supreme Court pronounced it like
it's a living will.
Can you tell me something about it? What is actually?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Rina, so you have opted anthro as an optional, isn't it? So what all books have you gone through in anthropology?
Sir, for the physical anthropology, P. Nath and Nadeem Hasnani for the second paper 2, that is sociocultural anthropology, and for some part I also refer to the Amber Emperor.
Okay, and have you gone through the book of Yuval Noah Harari?
No, sir.
Do you know about this author or not?
No.
Yuval Noah Harari?
No, sir.
Have not heard about the book of Sapiens?
Yes, I have heard, but I have not read it.
You have not read? Okay, fine. Okay, what is the significance of Nesser Ramla, Denisovan, and Dragon Man?
Sir, Denisovan, I know Denisovan is actually that the recent link of in the human evolution. Probably the ancient African Homo and Neanderthal gives rise to this Denisovan, who is actually the precursor of the modern human. That is probably the theory.
Okay. And what is the significance of Narmada Man?
So Narmada Man is a Indian variant of Homo erectus. That was discovered in the Narmada Valley.
What was exactly discovered?
I don't know.
Not remembering. Okay, fine. It's all right. Okay, just tell me one thing. You must have been going through the current affairs. Are you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So have you gone through today's newspaper?
Yes.
What is the controversy regarding the Brahmani river there in Odisha?
Don't know.
Don't know? Okay. But tell me, what all those items that you have found from today's newspaper are relevant for you or relevant for others also? Tell me 3 important news items from today's newspaper.
Taliban.
What's Taliban? Taliban is being covered every day.
Is going to form government. That was in the news.
Then?
I totally forgot.
Okay, you forgotten it. Okay, fine. Okay, so one of your hobbies is Sambalpuri folk dance, isn't it? Now tell us something. How do we differentiate between the folk dance and the classical dance?
Sir, classical dance has certain rules, regulation, but folk dance is more of an informal nature, and classical dance requires a long term training, but in folk dance we don't require that much training. Classical dance is more of a devotional in nature. A folk dance can be recreational also. These are the.
You're creating the answers on your own, or have you read something? Read something regarding this somewhere?
I have not read.
I should not read something on this. Okay, fine. My next question is, have you heard about Daskathiya?
Yes.
What is Daskathiya?
This is a kind of folk culture only.
Folk culture only. What exactly is there so specific in Daskathiya? It's
is
very famous, I think, in
is
Odisha.
famous.
Yeah. What's so specific about this Daskathiya?
I don't know.
You don't know? Alright, so what do you know? I mean, just let me know exactly from where I should ask you questions. Have you gone through the economics in GS? You must have gone through. Shall I ask you something on economics? Okay. So tell me why last few months we have seen the price of edible oil has increased tremendously in India. What are the reasons behind that?
Sir, India's edible oil, we are 60% dependent on import, and from where we are importing this, actually the factor is it is mostly diverted to biofuel kind of things in, for example,
Right.
in soybean in the
Yeah.
US.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing is and oil palm in Indonesia region, and second is China is taking away majority part of the edible oil.
Why China is importing majority part of edible oil? What's a specific reason behind that?
No, sir, I read these two things in today's newspaper.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Dr. Pradhan, convince this board that you're a leader and you will be able to lead a district in situations of crisis.
I have to convince.
Yes. Can you think of an example where you have shown your leadership skills?
Yes. Can I give an example? Yes. Actually, where I am working is a actually tribal dominated area where people are actually reluctant to go for institutional delivery and family planning, and because of that, under malnutrition and high maternal mortality rate is a problem. So in my area, I have actually had a monthly engagement with the ASA and ANM working there, and with my continuous effort, I review their work on monthly basis, and I persuade them these things are good for their health and their baby, and they will get incentive from the government by doing that thing. With continuous reinforcement and continuous try, in my hospital, our institutional delivery is close to 80% now.
Dr. Pradhan, you come from Odisha, a state which has a lot of tribals. You have heard about Uniform Civil Code?
Yes.
Why are tribals protesting against Uniform Civil Code? Since you mentioned in conversation with my fellow board members that you have empathy for downtrodden, I'm sure you will be able to give us a better perspective of why we see these protests by tribals against Uniform Civil Code.
The matter of adoption, marriage, family, inheritance, all these things are governed by their customary law, and many of the tribal population are actually declining. If we are bound by this uniform set of law, then their population may decrease to a threat level of extinction, and I don't know.
Okay, so are you against Uniform Civil Code for tribals?
I believe that Uniform Civil Code is a good idea, but that should be come from within the tribal section. We should wait and develop them to a certain extent that they eventually want to become part of Uniform Civil Code rather than imposing the Uniform Civil Code right now.
Okay. Dr. Pradhan, 33% MPs in your state are women, and that's a great achievement. Why do you think Odisha is able to do this and not other states like Uttar Pradesh or Haryana or Punjab for that matter of fact?
33% of reservation in assembly is actually a good step by CM Naveen Patnaik of Odisha, and basically the political reason is the political willingness is the most important reason for that. And secondly, in Odisha we have a good network of Mission Shakti, and this is the SHG network, and by roping this SHG network, eventually Odisha is successful in giving this 33% of reservation. But in other state, I think a state like Haryana and Punjab, the patriarchy, the thing is that is more prevalent, and political willingness is also lacking.
Have you ever experienced patriarchy?
I have never experienced patriarchy.
Okay, my last question to you, Dr. Pradhan, is you're a doctor, you're a frontline worker. I'm sure you must have experienced a lot of dilemmas during COVID. Let's say in your hospital, you have two options. One person who has arrived first and the other one who is more likely to survive. Who would you try to save?
I would go for the second option because we have limited resource time, and so those who have good chance of surviving, that should be attend first.
Thank you.
Okay. You mentioned that you never experienced patriarchy. What exactly is patriarchy, which you believe that you never experienced? Because I am told that all women faces patriarchy on day-to-day basis.
Sir, patriarchy basically means gender-based discrimination, where women are seen to be inferior than men.
You're an anthropology student. Patriarchy is only discrimination or it's something else? How is it different from patrilineage?
Sir, patrilineage is the inheritance through the paternal side, where inheritance is passed from father to son, not through daughter.
What is the relationship with patriarchy? Patrilineage and patriarchy?
Sir, patrilineage and patriarchy are related because we follow patrilineage. Some sorts of patriarchy is inevitable actually, but certain amount is permissible, because I believe that we have to change a lot of institutions to totally get over the patriarchy. But in the majority form, it is in the most difficult form, it is the discrimination towards the women due to their gender, believing that they don't have proper capacity to do certain works. These are actually manifestation of patriarchy.
Okay. If you're coming from Odisha, give me three problem of women in Odisha. Peculiar problem with women of Odisha faces.
Sir, three problem, I would say firstly education. Where
so women of Odisha faces problem of education, rest of the world, rest of the country, it is not there.
No sir, it's not like that.
I want three peculiar problems, three specific problems of Odisha women. You're in Delhi for how many days now?
Sir, how many days since I am here?
Yes.
Since 1 day. I came yesterday.
Okay. So, you traveled through metro or not?
No.
Not yet. Okay. Fine. Fine, Rina. Nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
बैठिए Rina. Rina, when is your UPSC interview?
Sir, on 8th September.
8th of September. It's round the corner, right? So, is it your first interview at the UPSC?
No, sir, it is second.
Second. What was your score last time?
Sir, it is 187.
187. 187. And you missed by how many marks?
4 marks.
Oh, that's bad.
Sir, I took medical science as my optional subject in earlier attempt, and I scored very poor in that.
Okay. Right. Fine. And since you have already faced an interview and got 187, which is a good score actually. So tell me, what is your assessment of your performance today? Do you believe that it is anywhere close to that 187 or it's not that close?
Sir, today's interview was very bad according to me.
Obviously, yeah, I understand why you're saying so. So, but then don't worry about it because of two reasons. One, as you said, you just landed in Delhi. You're not still. You still need to come to your on your best right now.
Yes, sir.
That is one thing. Second, obviously, there must be something seriously wrong in terms of certain aspects of preparation, which I was expecting. कि आपका ठीक होगा. But anyways, coming to specifics, see, Rina, you're coming from you're a trained doctor. You're currently working with the government, so you're bringing that kind of experience with you. Also, you have faced interview earlier, also almost there kind of a stuff. So you have that wide, heavy DAF, which has diversity reflected in it. So my advice is that have faith in you, right? One thing. Second, work on DAF. Take DAF as your syllabus and work on it for next 2-3 days, whatever you have. Use that time judiciously. Don't indulge in so much reading of information and information loading, because one, you don't have that kind of time, and second, it is not where you are lacking. Your primary concern should be that you should have a vibrant, engaging conversation, especially in the opinion-based question. You should do a little better than today. You're an honest person. You in the course of interview, you never claimed something to be knowing which you did not know, right? So if you knew, you delivered it. If you were not sure, you simply said sorry, which is a good thing, which shows a lot about your integrity thing. Coming to specifics, your entry is good. I'm not commenting on your attire. I'm presuming that you will not be wearing this dress, so there's no point talking about it. Sitting posture in general is good, except that you are clasping your hand a lot. You're not happy with yourself while the interview is on, and that's why there is a lot of movement within your. You're getting it. Look at the video, you'll realize it was there. My advice is that even if for some reason you're feeling anxious there, which is not unusual for many candidates, don't show it in so many ways, right? Just place your hands like this. It will be a better strength, right? Similarly, occupy your chair properly. Right? We have been advising it to all women candidates. You must have heard the word manspreading, and it is the opposite of it. Don't shrink yourself. You are entitled to certain space in the room. Occupy that space, right? It will bring some confidence in you. Why shrinking should be there? And it is there with many women candidates. It is there with you to some extent, right? So you can work on that. Other things in general are good. Yes, there are areas, I don't want to list them, where you need to brush up. Use your time judiciously and be happy in the interview, right? If you have scored 187 in the previous thing, why can't you score same or more marks this time? You can, right? So these are only few things I wanted to say. I'm sure you're a very good candidate. It's just that it was a bad day, right? All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.